Hey y'all.
Do y'all feel like women could do whatever they want or not? I just want to know. How y'all really feel about that?
Right here, how you really feel. What's up, y'all? This is Lipz podcast. Y'all know how we do each and every week, 9 something to 11. Because we never start on time. But it's okay. How's everybody's week going? Okay, that's great.
Conductor.
He told you he depressed out here. It's raining.
I'm with. We'll start with our special guest.
Yeah, so introduce yourself.
My name is Oscar Sanders. I am a social justice spoken word poet, author, filmmaker, playwright, and my niche, that makes my poetry different is that I perform in over 15 different characters. So sometimes I wake up in the morning, I don't know who the hell I am actually. So
that's dope. So did you kind of self-proclaim that political poetic? What did you?
Yeah, social justice spoken word. Yeah, because I've been like that all my life. I was basically when I was young. My mother used to take me to like Savior's Day when Farrakhan would come to the garden, and I used to watch the news with her all the time. So yeah, politics has always been part of my life, and I've always taken that part seriously among other things that I love. I have a smorgasbord of interests, but politics is always a foundation because really, when people say that politics shouldn't be part of the conversation or it's not something we should be talking about now, that means we should be talking about it right now.
Right. So do you feel like spoken word has been your way of kind of conveying that message so people like us kind of get it more and we want to be more in tune and paying attention? And
it pisses white people off.
Right. Okay.
They walk out because some people have said, do you like kind of like the Dick Gregory or the Paul Mooney of poetry? Because that's where race and discrimination and inequality matter to me.
Gotcha.
So what's politics? Because I feel like a lot of people, they don't think that they can get into it because they don't really understand like what it is, like what you guys tackle or like what's...
Well, politics is basically how our everyday lives, everything that from our everyday life is affected. And then how do you get people to like you? Because it's a like business, basically. How people are interested. You don't give resumes for politics. Basically, people have to like you. You can see it a lot of times when I would watch Facebook, and people didn't really understand the importance of why Obama was president. And they would. I thought a lot of people wanted to have sex with him. And Michelle the same. It's like nobody ever thought about or said what they were for.
Yeah,
they were too busy getting off on the photo shoot. Look at them; they look good as a couple. That's my president.
Yeah,
they all your president. Trump too.
That's how I felt about
he's here.
That's how I feel like a lot of people felt about Kennedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Or Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That they felt like they were picture perfect or something like that. Like they looked like that's why you have to have the dog and you have to have the children.
The saxophone thing when he came on Arsenio Hall and he played saxophone and they said he's our president, but that's why our cousins and our uncles are still locked up because of that first black president.
So do you feel like
mass incarceration started with him?
Yeah.
When he did that 3 strikes felony mandatory life sentence thing that created where people with small quantities of controlled substances wound up going to jail for inordinate amount of time and they all had problems. Obama too. I mean, he locked up a lot of. I mean, he threw away a lot of immigrants, a lot of people that were here. He was responsible for that too. But people still just think about Affordable Care Act, which is groundbreaking. I mean, Hillary tried to do that originally, and they wouldn't have it. I think that certain things are right. And I think that universal health care, European companies do it. I mean, European countries do it. It should be a normal right to do that. Homelessness should be illegal. Nobody should be homeless. I don't give a damn if they can't pay rent or not.
That's how it is.
You know what I mean? Because when we see the amount of money that the United States government throws away, they give $39 billion to 140 countries. And there's some like Egypt and Israel, that's basically like an allowance. You know, basically they don't even pay it back. But the Department of Taxation and Finance tracked me down for $89 funky dollars. But you can throw away billions.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about the lottery then?
Which, the regular lottery, the scratch off like lotteries?
Yeah.
It's just a form of gambling. This is no different than cigarettes or anything else. I think people wrap themselves in a lot of hope. Me personally, I used to big on horse racing sometimes in the 80s. But at one point or another, I remember I used to research a lot of gambling. Yeah. And I remember Telly Savalas, Kojak, was a professional gambler. He used to put out these tapes, and that was one of the reasons why I stopped gambling. When he says, you should never ever gamble when you don't feel lucky, you don't feel successful. And you see a lot of people don't do it. That's why in casinos you see ATM machines.
Yeah.
If you lost already, you should be gone. Yeah. Technically, you know, you can't never get something back that you lost that way. And we're never looking at the point that we need to stop at some point and cut our losses. You know, I had a bad luck too. I never could win with Asian dealers. Black guy, white guy, I've been winning. As soon as the Asian deal, so I stopped. You know, you have to have control. But then this goes back to a whole thing with me. You know, I can talk about, you know, I went through my thing when I was a jazz guitarist for a long period of time. And I started using substances. And, you know, my drugs of choice was like heroin and crack, you know, and stuff like that. And pills. I was a garbage head, basically. You know, if it could get you high, I used. But at one point or another, I had to find out, I felt that when something I wasn't having fun with it, I need to stop. You know, and we have to realize at one point or another that we're not going to get any better to continue to use, you know, substances. See, I got into it from an entertainment standpoint, you know, so for me, it was very easy to stop.
Right.
Doctor told me just recently I had to retire from drinking because, you know, I think I drank more than Jack Sparrow, you know. So I did a little damage to my liver. But the minute I knew when they started probing me and said, I think your liver's enlarged. That was the last day I drank, about 3 years ago. Heroin was like 90, 91. You know, but when I seen that the cycle kept leading me to jail, I wasn't the type. I had friends that could use, and they could continue to go to work. I wasn't that type. I work and doing drugs. I was an abuser. I was about getting high. And if I'm getting high, I don't have time for work. You know what I mean? So I had to, if I was going to have any kind of semblance of a life, I had to give the drugs up. Right. I had to. There's no way to balance that.
So, you know? Did it start off as like a social thing?
For me.
Yeah.
See, some people do it from an emotional standpoint. I had patients that I had, because I was an addiction counselor like 15 years. I had a KSAC and methadone counselor. And after going to prison. And then so I had a patient that, you know, at 9 years old, she was chained to a pipe. This is the parents, it's teach. You know how she's still damaged. See, if you have that kind of emotional damage, then you're self-medicating because that's how you cope. The pain, and then the fact that we don't feel, how can I say it? We don't feel good about going to see psychiatrists to take care of our mental health. It's a weakness. You know what I'm saying? But you weak in other areas. You don't want to see a psych, but you okay with being late to work. You being untrustworthy, not being a parent to your kid, lying to your kids about things that you're going to do for them. You okay with that? But your own mental health, you're going to be weak with that. It's weird how we balance and how we play with things to justify our lives. You know, how we look at things and say, well, you know, I'll get around it by using, but I won't fix it. But I'm okay with damage in other areas of my life, and I'll make excuses for that. You know.
What do you think about like entertainment now, where they push a lot of the drug agenda? Like you have Future that's forever talking about drugs, but he didn't even use drugs like that or whatever the case.
Yeah,
was.
lean and stuff like that.
So like, what do you think about this hip hop culture? Like really kind of.
They're probably programming them. It's just like I'm old school. I'm like at 58. Most of my friends are like in their 20s, and I go to a lot of rap concerts. You know, I'm a Cypress Hill head, so we can go as far back as we want to go. But now it seems like they don't want lyricists anymore. They don't want people that really, you know, define rap, the Rakims, you know, the special eds, you know, the Public Enemies, the Commons, the Nas's. They don't want that anymore. Seem like they want trash. And I think it's coming from the top. It's coming from record labels.
Do you feel like it has anything to do with pharmaceuticals, pharmaceutical companies? Because lean is essentially like Robitussin and Sprite and
that's scissors and stuff.
Scissors and stuff like that. And then you have like promethazine and like codeine and all these things. Those are all pharmaceutical drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some of them are over the counter, like you said, unless you're getting it really pharmaceutical. I mean, the prescribed codeine, you know, Robitussin, you know, guys were using that.
Which sells for more. Yeah. But do you feel like that could tie into like a pharmaceutical agenda?
Yeah, I think a lot of things tie in together. I think first of all, I think that drug companies, healthcare companies, and healthcare work together. You know what I mean? I've never seen a time in my life where, you know, they show more pharmaceutical commercials than they do Target or Macy's. I know I've learned more about drugs from television, from Lyrica and Seresto and all this other stuff that, you know, is because they're trying to make it okay to say, listen, it's okay to use drugs, you know. But they weren't saying anything about heroin, you know. When people were dying and overdosing on heroin since the inception of heroin, you know. But now suddenly, because white middle class people don't have, their children are dying from overdose, they can't give their trust funds to somebody. Now it's an epidemic. It's always been an epidemic, but it wasn't you know, or they feel comfortable now being able to use because they don't have to go to Bushwick. They don't have to go to the South Bronx. They don't have to go to Harlem. You can go to CVS. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some of it has to do with injury and pain, but a lot of people are just want to like get high. Some people just don't want to be here. They need an altered state of consciousness to cope. To cope.
Do you think this is all of a part of like, well, black people, like the addiction of it? Do you think that's part of like the PTSD within our community? Yeah. And like, how do you feel like we could kind of kick
bad parenting, no role models, you know, and the pain and inadequacy of looking at other kids that are successful and you're not. And then, you know, you got the bullying and you have definitely use. Because it's all altered state. You know, people just, you know, don't want to be here. But they're too afraid to kill themselves, you know. I used to get in trouble at companies because I used to say it's not illegal to commit suicide. And I remember psychiatrists always told me, who am I to tell you that your life is fucked up? Can we curse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that your life is fucked up. And I remember George Kennedy, you might not remember him. He used to play the Saint back in the 40s, before Roger Moore. And when he committed suicide, he left a note. He said life wasn't fun anymore. So why would you want to stay somewhere where you're not happy? Why do we make people feel that way? Maybe, I always felt, to me, death is pre-written. It's always kind of like Final Destination, those horror films. Like, you can't escape death, whatever that is, whatever that time. We always make excuses when people pass away. It was, you know, you shouldn't have went down that block. Well, you shouldn't have wore that dress. No, actually, that was your day.
Yeah.
That was your day. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has a day and a number. Some people are going to catch cancer at 7. Some people are going to, you know, catch a heart attack jogging. Some people are just going to die in their sleep. But we love them so much, or, you know, so we make excuses for why. You know, whoever takes them out of here. You know, but there are a lot of miserable, unhappy people. Some people don't need to be born, actually, because they weren't put in the right hands. They weren't given the right hands. If your life is screwed up, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't bring other people in the world that you really can't manage. If you're not managed, how are you going to manage somebody else? How are you not making sacrifices for kids? How do you allow them to see aberrant behavior or an adult type of behavior when they're too young to absorb that? And then they become to hate women and become, you know, rapists and serial killers and abusers because they don't see these things. Very influential. My daughter is 6 years old, and, you know, I love to put my glasses like this. And before I knew it, I saw her putting her sunglasses like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, and that's just subtle, subtle. So imagine things that we like that kids hear and see, and we don't. A lot of people. I've been in houses with people, and it was almost like Virginia Woolf. It was a movie called Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, where all these things that shouldn't be discussed at a dinner party among friends that was personal was being said. You can't be saying all that stuff around children. You know, all your personal arguments, all your issues with each other. You're letting your kids see that and hear that, and they gain a lack of respect for you over time. And you know, and then we're wondering why they're acting like that, or why they did that, or when we don't take responsibility and say that a kid is a good kid. How do you know that? How do you really know what your child is doing?
So I want to go back to the whole suicidal conversation, right?
Okay.
So I want to know how you feel about suicide awareness more so, because do you think that there is a balance, and that's why certain people are born in, you know, fucked up situations, or certain people go through certain things? Do you think that that balance is necessary though? Because you wouldn't understand the good without the bad. You wouldn't know evil without, you know, the spiritual and the good and everything like that.
But
so,
you can't control balance. How do that's a theory.
Right, you can't.
Where you said
can't
that's
control
a theory.
balance, but like, so that's what I'm saying. What's your take on suicide awareness then? Like, do you feel like people should be encouraging people not to kill themselves? Because I just want to make it clear, because kind of what you were saying sounded like, well, if they want to go, let them go.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Okay.
Because I think you shouldn't stay anywhere. I wouldn't want to stay here if I wasn't having fun. You know, I mean, do I have the tools to change? Because it's easy to say, well, you can be better than that. Maybe not. You know?
Is it that it's easier to let them go versus someone giving them the tools to want to fight for themselves?
If that's possible, but I don't. Sometimes you can't. You know how they say sometimes you get in a car accident, they say the car is total. Yeah, you can't. How you gonna drive it?
But more so, I feel like even watching certain people go through stuff, like you're here and then somebody's going through something over there. That is your lesson for you to learn.
That's
and
true.
for them to be the sacrificial lamb for that situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
People do learn, but then you also see people that don't learn. Now either they can understand how to change, and some people, can a person be so far
gone?
Yeah.
So far angry that you can't fix it? When you get this feeling that everything, you know, you can find an excuse for, usually not you. You know, when you always say it's them, they, you know, which causes people to lash out at other people, because it's very easy to say it's not my fault. You know, they did this, society did this, and some of it is society.
It's kind of the idea of like, you can't help people who don't want to be helped.
Themselves,
Right. You know,
but I think also it's important to try to provide the tools. Now, if they don't want to use those tools, then, you know.
But is everybody strong? Is if you say there's strength and there's weakness, there's some people that inherently are weak. They weak. They just, you know, you could tell some people just at a drop of a hat, they're very emotional. Small things. I can hear people on the train and just, you know, because there's a delay in the train. Oh. But I'm saying at one point or another, when do you realize certain behavior is normal? You know, I don't expect much out of the transit system. What I do is I leave early.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know why over years and years of seeing the same thing. If you're a jerk, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I can't expect genius from a jerk, especially unless it's spontaneous. If it's spontaneous that you're acting up, that's one thing. You show me flashes of brilliance, that's one thing. But if consistently you're a loser, why would I think that you could do great things? You know, why am I mad at somebody that's a jerk?
It's a sense of entitlement. I think that comes with it. A state of mind. Your environment plays a huge role in it, because some people feel like the world is supposed to give them something.
Do you also think parents sometimes feel that vicariously it's a reflection on themselves?
Right.
So, you know, this person is better than what they're showing you.
That's true.
You know, it's because of me. Because it's because of me. but we're not really realizing sometimes these kids are not going to grow up to be who we want them to be. You see people, that's why you see people paying for college. You see this like with the scandal. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Those kids but see that's the parents' fault too, because you didn't show them how to grind.
Yeah, exactly.
They lazy and they pay for everything, so now you see they behind the curve in terms of education. So you figure, let me give them $6 million so he can get in Stanford. And government is the same way too. Why is a degree from Stanford different than a degree from the University of Wisconsin? But but white society says that the Harvard, Yale, and then that's why Goldman Sachs will only hire these type of people. They're no better than I worked with master's degree. They're more lazy than anybody I know. But they will get that job first, because sometimes when we're being audited, companies are being audited, they get certain points when they look at their employment, the people that are employed by them. And if they're at Ivy League schools, they get great. It's all how we separate people. These are we still do that, and on every level. Yeah, and white people do it to themselves. They do it to themselves too.
Right.
It's terrible.
So what exactly are your politics then? Like, what do you stand for and believe in?
I think everybody should be treated fairly. I think people should be called out if they're not. I think that people that are hateful and use systemic racism to hurt society should be taken off the planet, really, because you can't cure people like Trump. You can't really. They need not be here, and sometimes people, I almost feel like over time it's almost like bed bugs. It's like it's like some things you just can't fix. You almost got to start from scratch. I'm wondering, you think about the environment, you think about people feeding off other people, like the energy companies. I mean, how do you stop when you say, well, they're polluting the world? Right, but they make money off of that.
So they're not just going to stop.
Absolutely, exactly.
But where's our morals at?
Right.
And how much money do you need? How much money do you need? And when do you start speaking up? With $500 million, can you speak? Can you stop?
So would you consider yourself radical?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the perfect government to you? Or would there be a government in your...
Yeah, no, there would be, but it would have to be, people... Not so much Republican or Democrat, but so much as people first. What's fair? If you gonna pit one race or one person or one age or one culture against somebody, that's wrong. Regardless, I don't think people worry about, like they keep worrying about this immigration situation. Well, then stop worrying about terrorism, because that's part of America's problem also. They allowed all of this chaos to happen in these different countries, but you didn't care about them unless they had some kind of resource like gold, silver, or either oil. Places like Haiti, Venice, Haiti, or Nicaragua, or whatever, where they had sugar cane, you don't give a damn about that because you can get that somewhere else. But if they had a natural resource, that's the only countries we pay attention to. So what happens is you allowed all of this poverty to happen. And now it's at a critical stage. Why would you want to stay somewhere where people are snatching your kid up at 9 years old and putting them in a gang? You're going to obviously, try to keep your family together and protect your family. You have to go somewhere else. But they're saying, they're coming here or they're coming there. I know, because you didn't control that. You kept this thing on one area, and that's racism against Muslims, basically, to me. It's like they chose Jews to covet. Why? To me, because they bought you. They bought everything about you, your political system, your government, everything, business, everything. So, what happens when you allow somebody to buy you? You're a whore. And that's what politicians are. A lot of my poetry talks about that. That's what they are. If I give you money, I want something in return. Dave Chappelle always said that's why I didn't take the $50 million. Yeah. Because I didn't want, and I would feel the same way if I gave somebody $50 million. I would, I'd have influence over you. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to give it to you blindly. And so we have to stop that. We have to stop campaign finance And we have to reform that. It should be a minimum of, I don't know, $500, $1,500 that a person can give a campaign. You should not be able to give inordinate amount, send you to golf tournaments, ski trips, you know, put your kids through college, all kind of other things. And they do this all the way across the board. There's scandals in the Olympics that were the same way. It was scandals like, you know, if I gave you, you know, $500,000, I mean, I say like $50 million, you could have the Olympics in your country. Stop buying things and making it fair, and stop treating people differently. You know.
Do you feel like we deserve reparations?
Yeah, of course we do. You gave it to Japan. You gave it to Jews. Why you don't want to give it? But see, you just can't give people money so that they go and buy weed.
I was about to say, how do you feel like we should?
You got to buy land. You got to put businesses on there, and you got to create from there. Just watch what white people have done with your energy, and that's what you need to reproduce. Yeah, but you definitely owe it. They owe it to you. Yeah, you know, for sure.
All right, real quick, we're gonna take a quick break. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with a few more topics, guys.
Jay Blackout, drop something for him.
Hey.
That's my place.
Girl. Girls.
Alright, y'all, be back. We're gonna jump into some of our topics for today, starting with Met Gala. I'm sure everybody's, I don't know if y'all seen this, but we've all seen a couple pictures. So I want to go around, ask who were some of your faves of the night. You know what I'm saying? For Met Gala, I'm gonna start with you, Silva.
My fave. Dang, I don't think I have a favorite.
How do you even think about the looks, though?
Oh, am I talking into the mic even? I was in deep thought. I just started levitating, bitch. I like the theme. I like Lena. She came through and shut it down in the most simplistic way possible and made a whole statement. Who else? Janelle Monáe.
Yes,
Janelle Monáe.
Cute.
She went off with it. She went off.
Nigel says Cardi B.
Yeah, Cardi B is the obvious choice though. Like,
she had a whole quilt.
yeah,
She sure did. It was
she had like 7 people holding her train.
Right.
All of that good stuff.
Yeah.
That's the obvious choice.
I love getting Lady Gaga.
And
I liked it because it was so many layers. I think it was cute for what it was. I think it was fun, and she brought back to me old Lady Gaga, which like I love Lady Gaga.
I don't think she brought back old Lady Gaga. I definitely don't, because
she touched on it.
I used to be a Gaga fan.
So,
like
OD.
she didn't even touch Poker Face to me. She did
Really?
not. No, she did not. No, she did not.
She was kind of.
It was all right, but
no. Because she calmed down a lot.
It was cute. It was cute. Gabrielle Union is another one. She did her thing. I liked her fit.
Now, if she was standing alone,
Lala.
would you have liked it as much?
Yes. Lala shut down though.
I didn't like it.
I liked Lala. I like real like cartoony, avant-garde, big, crazy, out of the box.
Nothing formal.
No. Formal is cute,
but that's not
but
what
it's
this
done.
is.
Yeah, that's not what
this
that
is.
was.
Done, okay? It's
Okay,
done. It's been done, okay? I need
What would you
to
wear, Joe?
Yes,
Oh.
what would you?
Wow.
She already got the lineup.
You know what I want to wear?
Look at this.
Because I've done some looks. People who know me know that I give you looks, especially when my birthdays come around. Betsy Johnson's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Jeremy Scott is one of my favorites.
Yes,
Versace, of course. But I think I would wear nothing but something.
That's why I would mess with Laquan Smith, because
Nothing but
a
something.
nice nothing.
But you see what Billy Porter had going? That's me. That's
With
me.
the gold dust.
Carry me, okay? Move, peasants, move. This is my time, okay? That is me, okay? If that's what you would do, that's what I would wear. Down.
He killed that though. I love him.
Murdered.
I was there for his whole look. Like, I see a couple
Had
things
said
like that.
nothing.
I was over the Kardashians. I feel like they always halfway do it. The men were boring.
You see how they put them next to white chicks? Oh, girl.
That was jokes and very spot on. I don't know why I say that was funny as hell. And then what's his name came out with the kilt? What's the football player name?
Odell.
Yeah, Odell Beckham. He came out with the kilt. I personally liked it. And
but see, I don't expect much from him. I've never seen him. No, seriously, what he did is what he does. I've never seen him fly. I've never seen him fly. You know, so you know, he's status quo.
He at least stepped out of his the normal boundaries.
But
of the pants
I felt it though. Like
I
don't feel like that's out of the box for him. Like I don't feel like that's
not for him. But for the men that usually go there, it's always a regular pantsuit with maybe a fly jacket.
Yeah.
And when you think about the Met Gala,
like
I think
a draft
because
pick.
yeah, right. And it's like I think because we're also used to the social norms of men wearing, of course, pants and a jacket. It's like that's all they come with, and they don't really do much. It's boring.
That's why insert Jared Leto, okay?
Was it a kilt? Or
giving me face and
it
face.
was a kilt.
You sure it was
It
a
had
kilt?
the riffles. The kilt
Face
like riffles.
on face.
Nah, so one of the topics now I've been getting constantly, everybody was asking me about this, was Aisha Curry. So she sat and did the Red Table Talk, and
That's my show.
Jada had asked her,
literally,
right, I like that show though. Jada had asked her,
Jada.
how does she feel about guys, well, people being all over her man, you know what I'm saying, Curry being in the limelight and all that other stuff. So she said sometimes it's irritating, obviously, because they overstep their boundaries, you know what I'm saying, but she always has to kind of like, and he's naturally a nice guy, so she usually has to be the one to step in and say, yo, calm down. Now what she did say was at times she feels a little bit insecure almost because she realizes that she doesn't get none of the same attention. She doesn't get any attention from guys or anything like that. She doesn't feel like anyone is. Yeah, she don't got groupies. She don't got no. She don't have any looks. She don't have anything.
That's because she's not looking for it.
She's not an NBA superstar either.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah,
Now the thing was, a lot of guys.
Swimsuit picture. I bet you she get all the attention that she gets.
A lot of guys, I think, were feeling like, well, why do you want the attention? Like, you want the attention.
You want niggas on your body.
I mean,
I
feel like
in the kitchen.
I feel like when you're a woman, first off, playing not necessarily the background, but more or less the background to someone that's so big, and like, you know, you got to deal with his groupies and his fame and his, like, you kind of as a woman always come second to that. So I think it's parts of you that get lost in it, and you want to still feel like you feel somewhat, I don't want to say important, but
sexy.
Yeah, you want to still feel wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's clear as day that everybody wants your man. But it's like at a certain age,
or is that
but it's a woman thing, because I think it's both. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's not that he's probably not, you know, doing what he has to do for her, because I'm sure he is. But nonetheless, he's always on the road. He's always doing his games. He's always doing his this and his that. And as a woman, not for nothing, once you reach a certain peak in a certain age, you know, you done had kids and stuff like that. I think most women, you start to feel a sense of like, damn, I'm washed. So it feels good to know that somebody's watching. And if your man is getting all the looks and he's getting all the attention, then it's kind of like, damn, like, all right, well, I'm not shit. And I think it's out of pure fear that most of the men aren't hitting him up, and out of respect for Curry, because it's like, yeah, he's everybody's fave or whatever case is. He's all godly, so of course everybody's gonna respect his woman in his space. And she's now, no shade to her, but she's kind of been a prude. So I think people are kind of like, all right, well, I know she's kind of quiet. Why she gotta
be a prude though?
She was kind of a prude. I'm sorry.
She was.
Because she faked her. She was. Because I remember one time she said something that, in which would me personally kind of turned me off from her, and on a personal level, which she said something along the lines of, you know, wearing clothes or whatever the case is. And I'm not for the female bashing like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, you guys should dress like however she dresses, which is cool how she dresses, but nobody wants to wear turtlenecks all day just because.
Why she probably not getting no looks.
But that's honestly what I'm saying. That's kind of what.
So here's my thing, right? Here's my thing.
one time.
Nah, but why though?
Hey.
Why you gotta show cleavage? Like you don't have to do
no,
none of
you
that.
don't have to.
You don't have to do none of that. My whole thing is.
But I think it was corny for her as a woman to call out other women that choose to show their cleavage or choose to show whatever they want to show. I feel like that's corny.
I don't think that's the case because I don't think that's the case because we all talk about people all the time. We talk about people's spits. We talk about when people's doing too much. We talk about when people's wilding. So I do not think that was her crossing no lines or being corny. I do not. That's her opinion. Though. That's her opinion. That's how she feels. She feel like people should dress how she dress. Same way people who dress in her beebs and only show their eyes.
That's how she might as well dress though. She got the nerve
that's
to
not how she might as well dress.
I don't like women that
that's
dress
how
like
they
this.
dress. That's how they dress. She dress how she want to dress. Same way I dress like a goddamn boy sometimes. But when I want to look pretty and I want to dress up, I dress up.
You know what I
but
think?
I feel like at the end of the day, she is not in the same position that everybody is. Like you said, we could walk down the street and everybody, yeah, what's up? But she don't get that. There's not enough time or space for her to be hollered at. I just feel like she hasn't put the time in or like gave the air for it. Like
and she don't even put that kind of energy out.
Yeah, and you don't put that, and that's the biggest thing because I know me myself. Like if there's a time where I don't want that energy, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah,
and I don't even have to say nothing.
Yeah,
it's just understood. Don't talk to me. Mm-hmm. But if you want that attention, my whole thing is if you want the attention, then. Yeah, then you gonna get it.
Why would you?
I don't feel like she's ever really thought about it until it's in comparison to her husband.
Right.
And I don't feel like she's saying something crazy by saying that.
Nah, I wasn't feeling what she said with that. But hold on, wait, Rico, what you was gonna say real quick?
She inviting trouble into the crib.
In regards,
she inviting trouble into the crib.
Not even that.
Nah, she's just a woman, and it's like, damn, like.
Just in regards to what Silva was saying, like just how like you say, you could dress how you want to dress or whatever. But I think the difference is when you project how you feel and how you want to dress on other people.
Saying.
That's what I think.
That's what I where it was corny to me.
Because like, listen,
right.
like I don't care how you dress. You can dress how you want to dress, but don't say that you should be dressing how I dress. I think that's
because it's different when we pick and choose certain women. We say certain things like, "All right, Cardi's wilding for that. She OD'd with the super the low neck or whatever." Like, yeah, we do all do that. But to generalize all women and say, "Well, if you're not dressing like me, then you're this type of woman," and to stereotype them, that's corny. And I feel like that's where women fall into this. This is where we separate ourselves, and this is where, like, you know what I'm saying? And there's no unity there because you're thinking, because kind of like with the Ciara statement, and she was like, "Oh, well, if you move like this, maybe you'll get a man." It's like, but you were single this whole time. You done had your baby fathers and all of this, and now you all of a sudden know the standard of how to be a woman. That's where it was like, that's funny.
Because I didn't hear it. So she was saying, if you want to get a man dressed like this?
She pretty much was saying, like, this is how women should carry themselves.
But there's
I think that still goes to her ideal. She feel like to me,
but
it's
she
like
wasn't
think
saying
about it
this
like
is
religion.
How I carry myself.
Think about it like religion. People feel like you should worship Allah. You should do this. You should do that. To me, it's still her ideas and her belief. Granted, she's projecting it on other people, but that's still something she strongly believes. And this is how you should carry yourself.
With that, but
but then you can't say that that's corny. I personally don't feel like that's corny.
This is how I carry myself, and this is how I feel about me. Don't say that this is how women should, and it was something.
But that's not how people talk.
But there's different types of ways that women should dress.
Right.
You know what I mean? Are you dressing? If you're Cardi B or you're somebody, that's not reality.
Right.
That's entertainment. Exactly. They have no dress code. Right. So I'm open to all of that.
Right.
Now, are you corporate? All right, so that's one way. Are you a parent? That's one way.
Right.
Are you jealous because of somebody else? Look at Dolly Parton. We don't even know who the hell her husband is.
Right.
You know why? Because he don't want to be in. See, that's what I'm. If it bothers you, then step back.
Right.
Exactly.
Why you keep showing up to every game?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain people that don't show up. Certain boxes, we don't even know who their wife is. They don't show up. So if it's bothering you, what you're saying about how these women, then don't show up.
Right. Because
why would you put yourself continuously?
Yeah.
That's like saying I don't smoke cigarettes. Then what the hell am I keep sitting around people that's smoking them?
Exactly.
If it's bothering me, then step off.
Exactly.
Why do you keep subjecting yourself to things that make you jealous?
Right.
And then turn around and trying to like judge in a sense like that.
But they're fans. They're people that's coming up to him. He's famous. Why? First of all, why did you date him in the beginning?
There was other people. There was other people that you could have married. Why would you marry him? There's certain people that would stay away from that if their personalities can't deal with celebrity. Then they don't marry those type of people. Yeah, but I don't think in that time she knew that he would be on the level that he is now. I feel like y'all taking it too far. There has been things that we've said amongst friends or to whoever that if it was recorded, would have gotten blown out of proportion. I feel like that was just her in the moment saying like, damn, like, yo, dudes don't really be checking for me like that. Like,
No, to that, yeah, I agree. But
why would they?
That's
no. But if you're not sure, they're paying attention to him based on his skills.
Right.
All right. Now, how long and how far are you going to get just being attractive? That's why you have people like Kardashian. They're half naked. They have to, because otherwise you would be reflecting your intellectualism, and she's not bright. Or Kim Kardashian not bright. I'm not going to say that whatever they do that stuff is done for them. People suggest things. There are people that work what they do. She ain't
for shock value.
She ain't sharp. She ain't sharp at all. She wouldn't be with him. She wouldn't be with Kanye. Straight up. She wouldn't. He's an idiot. No, he is. He is. He just is. And guys like him and Tiger Woods, they allow white power structures to control them. That's the reason why they get invited. Did anybody notice that anytime certain people are with Trump, that they kind of dress like him? I remember right before the election when Kanye West went to Trump Tower. Now, why was his hair blonde?
He did that.
Yeah, because those are the way. That is the way. That is the way dark forces communicate without using phones.
Shit.
That's telling everybody or those people that are watching, Kanye's with us. Yesterday, Tiger Woods, the same thing. Identical suit, identical color suit, shirt, and tie as Trump. See, I watch all of that. And but then again, look at the people that come to see him as opposed to certain other people. You know, he ain't gonna have Malcolm Jenkins or somebody from the Eagles or certain people that we know, or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, Chris Jackson, who actually was one of the first people to not stand for the national anthem in the NBA. He's not coming. So anybody that's black or of color that's around Trump, we know why. He's using you.
Yeah, because even the black Red Sox players, they refuse to go to the White House.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. And I felt bad for those Baylor people too, because they said, well, somebody said to me, oh, they're not smiling. They shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even be there. You knew how he was going to treat you. But that's the allure of the White House. Well, remember Chrisette Michele? What was it?
Yeah.
And she lost a lot of fans because she went and she performed at Trump's inauguration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But you know why they showed up to me, in my opinion? Because Obama didn't invite them. See, they wanted to get in that White House, but the black president didn't, choose them. So they didn't give a damn who chose them. They was going because there was something about going there. Like the people that work for him, it's the same thing. Why would people subject themselves to the stuff that they do working for Trump? Somebody's going to speak, and then you're going to say, well, that's not what he meant. And we both speak in English. I don't re-clarify what I'm saying if we speak in the same language. Now, how long you going to do that for a living? But it's the status. It's getting in the Capitol Grill, getting that table, all because I work in the things that people put up with.
Getting the McDonald's.
What people put up with for status. See, I could never do. That's why I had a lot of jobs in my life. Yeah, because I don't stand for a lot of shit. And I know I can't change people. I can step off. And that's what I do. And I don't go in my office and complain. I take it right to the boss. And all, So
let me ask you, too, because we're actually going to just go to the next one because it was in conjunction with what you were saying. So Kim Kardashian lately, she actually has helped free 17 inmates in 90 days. She's been... Pretty much, she helped commute the life sentences of 17 first-time nonviolent drug offenders. Her team has been saying she's been very instrumental in footing the bill for all of this, and that's how come she's a part of this, helping them get to state to state to actually fight this stuff and deal with the judges and things like that. So she's been very fundamental in that. What are your thoughts though? Because I know I kind of was saying it's a shame. It seems like that it takes someone of a certain status to make it seem like things are now getting done when there's so many people in our communities putting in the groundwork, but they're not getting the, you know, like what we talked about before, they're not getting the exposure, they're not being seen, the acknowledgement, and things like that, because they don't have the
I don't think that's her
notoriety.
I don't think that's her idea, though. I don't really think that's her idea.
I
think
some other people
Kanye?
like,
no, I don't even think it's Kanye. It's somebody that it's something to me that's coming down the line that she's trying to accomplish. But maybe she's trying to run. Maybe she wants to run for office or something. Whatever. But she needs to. But she's starting this.
So, what my question in totality though is like, is this a good? Because obviously she's doing good.
Anytime you free anybody,
but like, how do we kind of control this beast? Because I feel like. Kind of maybe what you're getting at is that
this is what I was saying before. I feel like
sometimes it's not the message.
They want to be the royal family. I've been said this since day one. The same way you have the Queen Elizabeths and the Englands, and you got the this and the that and the princess. They want to be recognized as the royal family.
I agree with that.
Because it's
and hit up in their head.
Yeah.
And you can't act like an idiot and have a sex tape and think you're the royal family. You just
this administration, it was just like, all right, this is the time is now.
Yeah.
I can have enough influence over the current president and the current state of the government and just America right now to where I can just slip in, because she's not doing these things out loud. She's doing this in the cut, and
publicized. It's publicized.
It's publicized. Of course,
so
it's publicized.
It's not hidden.
But it's not.
Nobody else is taking credit for it.
It's not like Trump, where Trump is on Twitter like, yeah, I did this and yeah, I did that. So and she's known for being a social media star. She kind of like kicked off with like her family. They were the social media royal family.
Everything was on
so
her.
it's, to me, I respect the fact that it's being done kind of hush or whatever.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But she ain't scratched the surface with 17 people.
Right.
I could think of maybe 500,000 people that are in jail that shouldn't be in jail.
Because right now she's trying to be a lawyer. She's studying to follow.
I wouldn't hire her.
She passed the test already.
Yeah, I wouldn't hire her. I don't have respect for her, so I wouldn't. To be a lawyer, I have to respect you and I can't
as an individual
because of your personality it sucks.
I feel like
as a person, I don't respect her as a woman, and I don't mean that I would degrade her. But she's trash to me, so I would never. She could never be my lawyer.
So all right. So now I have a question, but to finish what I was saying, I feel like at the end of the day,
she passed the bar.
Yeah.
You know that bar was low.
Take the bar that fast.
Because in California, it's different. You don't need to go to school.
You probably need a cheat sheet. Get a cheat sheet.
That's why a lot of people actually were pissed off, because they feel like, of course, when you have the money, you're able to skip.
But that doesn't mean you're a good lawyer. We were just talking about that. You can have a master's degree, and that doesn't mean you're proficient at whatever you're doing.
And then the thing.
Or have the knowledge of the back.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, what this is really about with her is the fact that she has the means.
I think she's trying to do these are things she wants to run for office, I think. But these are like stepping stones, like ways to like build some kind of like
I won't be
false
surprised
character.
if either her or Kanye.
And it's crazy because Kanye was the person we initially wanted. Well, I won't say we because I ain't. But there was this whole Kanye 2020 type of thing. But now it's just the irony of everything that's happening. They're canceling Kanye, and they're even talking about his church. He wants to start up a church.
She's not the right person.
It's so funny though that you're saying that, because it's so funny how Kanye was always he was the prince, right? He was everybody's favorite at one point in time,
and he was the chosen one.
We despise Kim. Now it's almost like it's changing, because she's always the one. Every time Kanye does something, she's always the one coming in subtly and trying to clean things up.
Like
she's always the one now saving everybody.
No, don't talk about my husband.
Now I'm
different animal.
It's a different animal than two people that like Captain and Tennille and Sonny and Cher. That's why I look at them as. Then you talking about like somebody like Bill and Hillary, or somebody else, or Michelle, I don't put her in the same category. Now she can run, and but nobody's gonna really,
But here's the thing, though, because at the end of the day, it comes down to a numbers game.
You can't get people out of jail and be a lawyer
but if they vote for her, she will get the position.
Who's gonna vote for her? People that buy records?
Everybody on social media.
Oh, well, that's not enough people. That's not enough people
on social media.
That's who you hear. Now you haven't heard who's against her.
Right, but you said earlier that this is a popularity contest.
Right, it is.
And she is one of the most popular people in
but
America.
you also talking about politics now. We will smash you.
Right.
We will smash you. We'll find out everything. We'll talk about your transgender
There's nothing
brother-in-law.
to find, though.
No, but
everything is keeping up with the Kardashians.
But when you put together the commercials, they will make them look terrible. They will make them vile.
I can't say that.
But
I feel like they can't because once you put your own demons out there, you are now in control.
But the people that voted for Trump are not going to vote for Kim.
You don't know that.
No, they are. These are we're talking about racist.
I'm about to say it's probably not because she's married to a black man.
We're talking about racist white people that were very angry because they're not getting. This is like the spinoff or the extreme of Tea Party people.
Yeah.
This is these people are just mad because they are white and they haven't gotten anything, and they're certainly not going to. They're not going to vote for a black woman. Or I think she's Armenian by her last name. They're not going to vote for her. People out of Alabama.
I'm still confused why people consider her white,
and moonshine and racist. They're not going to vote for Kim. She is an epitome of opulence and wealth in entertainment. That is what they loathe.
Is Kim Kardashian white? Can we just get this?
No, that's Armenian is like Turkish and Russian. That's a blend.
Because people carry her like she is a white woman, and this is a white family. Yeah. But then when they even went to their country,
the mama is white.
They're close enough. Yeah,
the mama is white. Robert Kardashian, O.J. Simpson.
He's the only one.
Yeah, he's Armenian. Yeah,
so they're white enough. They white enough. But you know once you got.
But that's not Kim's mom. That's Kim's mom.
Yeah, Chris. Hell yeah, that's her mother.
Oh, they have a different dad.
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, they're the ones who, and it's crazy because they look so similar. But I just feel like once you have something, I don't know, like
you not as white as the white folk, but she white. She ain't because she damn sure ain't black.
Nah. So my whole thing is she white passing enough though to slip through the cracks?
And that's what I think he's saying. I don't think
it's not so much if she's white or not. It's her politics. They're not going to vote for her.
I think more so.
She's not an insider. She's not in. Yeah. She's not in. What is she talking?
That's what she's working on.
Well,
but she's working on it with us.
I only see you talking about jail. You can't get arrested. I mean, you can't get elected for that. Okay. That's just the one phase of the whole. We're talking about environment. You're talking about agriculture. You're talking about domestic issues. We're talking about foreign policy. I mean, it's a whole thing. She's just getting 17 people out of jail. How you doing?
Listen, we gonna run this back.
Right. The Innocence Project.
I don't know no more.
Cardozo, part of John Jay has gotten more people out of jail,
And see, that's what I mean, though. To
they're not getting
and nobody knows who they are. Right. Some of them are O.J. Simpson's lawyers as well.
So does it not feel a little bit like a slap in the face that she's constantly getting rewarded?
No, because it's only 17. You said they've gotten way more out of it.
But what do you think?
See, they're really doing the work, huh?
What's her reward? I guess
she's already had the exposure.
You know what her reward is? That's boredom. She ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She ain't got a damn thing to do. That's all.
Saying that
she ain't got a damn thing to do. That's all.
All right, we're gonna take a little break.
Okay. And when we come back, I want to hear some of your poetry, so we're gonna get into that.
Okay, cool.
Right? You just come out the elevator.
We're just talking about baby showers.
Out of the elephant?
Mind you, none of us is pregnant.
We don't know that yet.
It's a live elephant?
True.
I'll come right, like Ace Ventura, I'll come right out the elevator and give birth right there.
Oh,
wow.
That's a platinum baby shower, okay?
That's a platinum baby shower?
Yeah, platinum members only.
Platinum members.
I'm weak.
Okay? Everybody
over 750 or better. You can
invite only, please.
It's gonna be a literal shower. Maybe come out peeing.
You gotta send me your credit report. Heard you.
Alright, y'all. So we are back. We're here with Oscar Sanders. He is an award-winning author, poet, social justice spoken word performer, and he has some of his work here today. So we're gonna hear some of his stuff again. Let them know.
Okay.
What you got for us?
Basically, we'll start out with, I used to like some country western back in the day. And I used to like Johnny Cash. But this one is like, sometimes we go through life and we really don't understand everything sometimes until it's too late. So this one is called This Is What I Learned. They don't ask our opinions, man. Treating us like minions, man. Conflict start by the million, man. I learned how to count to 1 billion, man. What is that, they ask, man? Hiding behind dark masks, man. I dare you insult our intelligence, man, with bastions of intellectual negligence, man, that runs reticent to cultural relevance. Are you actually the complexion for the protection or a reasonable facsimile thereof? It's amazing what you learn when it's too late. Falling down the canyon floors, finished polyurethane hate. No matter how polished you are, I detect bigotry in your eyes and on your tongue. And every time I'm about to trust you, I have to ask myself, where you from? Pawn shop tactics from a Walmart person stuck way down in the heart of Dixie. Racism has got you 60. Running an outdated southern strategy against me. This is what I learned, man. This is what I learned. This is what I learned.
Should we snap?
Thank you.
Clap?
Yes. Fairness on any level, partisan or bipartisan, is not a good feeling. Like irritable bowel syndrome, it churns, repeats, and bellows, and constantly reminds you that your belief system has been shattered. Who do I blame for misinformation? Who do I blame for leading me astray? Who do I blame for programming me to be just like them, think like them, act like them? What happened to free thinkers? You can't treat us any way you want to. You can't dispose of us and lie to us and say that you were forced to. When will you stop hiding like Marines in camouflage and expose the white robes that you wear under your suits and jeans and overalls like long johns in the winter? Our eyes are open and continue to be open. Now we consolidate to repel and resist and fight against your racist philosophies and prejudice. We people too and should be treated as such. I think at the very least we deserve as much. What happened to the Civil Rights Act of 1964? It's the law. The law. Respect that. You can't buy back. Injustice that has been earned and fought for and established for all people of all levels and colors and denominations and races. I'm still standing. You gonna stop ignoring me. Your negative energy is boring me. I think the Klansmen are tired of wearing white robes and switched to wearing police uniforms and the devil in pinstripe suits. What better way to hide your horns rather than to be truthful to thyself? A lie continues to be perpetrated because to believe otherwise shatters a belief system that says that your parents lied to you and told you that you were better than, when in reality, after standing face to face, working in the same job, having the same paycheck, making the same money, going to the same schools, eating the same restaurants, flying the same planes, riding the same trains, riding the same buses, living in the same neighborhood with you, you suddenly realize you're not better than anyone. Blessed to manifest. And I always like Pirates of the Caribbean, so this is Captain Barbossa. I dare ye sully our reputation with unholy presumption. Cash ye main, starboard, like ruin among the bounty. Why must I look at you for inspiration? Why must I look at you ain't misbehaving? I have been sweeping the dust boards beneath your cupboard for a score and a day, plotting for the moment to eradicate slavery away. Contemporary slavery is very much among us, like botulism, a rejected fungus. Not in the hinterlands where some wanted to be, or at least seem to be, within the far depths of your cranial bastions, within the delights of your Octavius fashions. Let's gaze upon Bishop. He's a dependable lad. You have hindered his pursuit to be a university grad. With your incessant dependent on low wages, void of future sages, have you seen the price of mortgage rates lately? Whinny thy whip and chinny thy chain, I labored tirelessly for the East India Trading Company for 3 months and a day, learning the loin of my ilk, the texture of my silk. Shakespeare has nothing on me. He might write about it, but does he have might? I doubt it. I have lived a life worth a tran of gold. More than 10,000 pages I have wrote. Keep underestimating the desire of a Negro. He will show your country into a greater country. If you smoke weed, you'll probably get the munchies. But forget about that. 15 men on a ratchet chest. Yo ho ho, how we get in this mess? I am remiss of pirate matey. I got me own baby, and I bloody love her. Ahoy, ahoy, Captain Sanders, Oscar Sanders, who the hell are you? And I look at situations where sometimes people are beat down. And like nature and other parts where we take so much as black people and we sometimes don't seem like we deserve better or more. This is called the culture of poverty. And I do this in a Hungarian gypsy called Maleva. Sometimes the flame is too hot. Sometimes the muscle is too strong. I didn't want to believe it, but all along. We've been pounded and grounded down. What do you know about what we go through? Oh, sorry, you created it. With your master-slave mindset, generational shifts in resilience, watered down importance of keeping the gatekeepers accountable, not having empathy for others' pain until the pain is your pain. Your self-worth can be compromised so much that you can acutely believe that you don't deserve such. A grand invitation. I've been treated as some human mutation, a human being that doesn't matter, with self-respect that can be stepped up with ladders. I have been the victim of so much crap. Most of it outweighs my lap. In quite frequent instances, leaving the field forever is difficult. I feel worthy of a life outside of it. Most slaves never run away from it. I accept less. Here I stand, sun in my eyes, but when the night comes, will I be one moment wise? We got a society that don't give a fuck. Damn, black people got bad luck. You portray us like a burden, stone around your neck. You never give up or getting rid of us. Wait up, I'm not finished. But the culture of poverty is all in it. The culture is all in it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
You should do voiceovers.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Hop in that voiceovers.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Voiceovers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Did you think about acting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'll be in Power this Monday, actually.
Oh, nice.
that's
Cool.
cool.
Can you tell us about your character?
Yeah, I'm going to be a political protester.
Oh, okay. That's
Somewhere
cool.
in Harlem, somewhere.
So
Nice.
what has inspired all of this, and where did you get your writing from? Like, what got you into writing in the first place?
When I was a kid, I was a lonely child. My brother and my sister were much older than me, so I watched a lot of television, a lot of Humphrey Bogart, a lot of Jimmy Cagney, a lot of gangster films. And I always loved the words, you know. And so from there, I paid attention in school where I was weak in, like, say, math and science and stuff like that, but in where English and creative writing was at, because I always was that type of person. I remember when they did, what was that movie Eddie Murphy had where he was entertaining his parents? What was that, Raw? I think it was in Raw.
In the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning. That was me.
Yeah.
That was me. Yeah, because I would be performing for my parents, and then when other family members would come over, they would pull me out. You got to see what Oscar's doing. And then they drunk as hell, Tangeray ended up, and then here I am, the free entertainment, and then it just kept going from there, and then so then from there. I started making movies out of Super 8 film.
Okay.
And we used to go to the airport, and we used to take flour and make cocaine and put it in bags. And then that's what we were doing when other parents were picking their kids up from the precinct. We was making movies.
Okay.
You know, that we was doing that. And then that escalated for a while, and then started playing music. A friend of mine was a musician, and my brother, and they were good friends. So I did that for like 17 years, and then substances got in the way, and then I took that, and then I got into filmmaking. And I've had some films that are jazz documentaries that are played all over the world. And my poetry is also part of a social justice film. This month is playing in Cardiff, Wales, and Carmarthen Bay Film Festival. It's been in 9 festivals so far. So it's basically it's my poetry with archive footage put together, and that is the companion of the 2 social justice plays that I have called Exposing Politics, a play of acts, All Political, and Diplomacy, the act of listening before you speak, which on May 28th will be at the Dream Center on 119th Street in Frederick Douglass, doing full production.
Nice.
And at the Blacklist. The Blacklist is a group that I also, it's rappers and poets. And we'll be at the Gasolina, with a Q, Blacklist.
Okay.
And we'll be at the Gasolina Lounge on May 19th, and so I'll be performing there as well. So
I mean, I remember seeing you at Courtney's Corner. Shout out to you. Got to be tuned in right now. Hey, boo.
What's up, Courtney?
But I remember seeing you there and a couple other black men that were performing, and I can't help but think about how influential you can be to young black men that seem to not have a proper outlet. Like, they seem to not know their way. They seem to not know themselves. They not even down to their blackness. They seem to not understand it. So how do you think you can, or how have you been kind of guiding other black young men into knowing themselves, understanding themselves?
Talking to them, I have a lot of friends that are in their 20s, and I talk to them all the time. And when they say things, I correct them.
Yeah.
And then they say, Oscar, man, I wish you was, around, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I wish you was, some of them even so profound to say that I wish you was my dad. Really, because, the way you talk, you stop me. Sometimes they want to post silly shit that they shouldn't be posting, and I tell them, I don't think you really should post that, because what is that projecting for you? You know what I'm saying? And they said nobody ever checks me on anything.
They don't.
Right? So yeah. And like I was telling you, Rico, is that I have like a 3-pronged literacy project, creative literacy project that I'm trying to get in charter schools and creative arts schools. Actually, too, Brooklyn Arts Council as well. Okay. So that part of it is them mimicking what I do, which shows an ability to follow directions, and pay attention. Because if I'm performing a character and you're copying me, that's like if I ask you, look, I want you to take this list and go through this list and check and find out any default orders. It's because it's the same things that you're learning with me. And then also at the same time, in that 11 weeks, they also they write their own social justice poetry. Then we do film analysis, and so we look through films. I give them a questionnaire. What are they struggling with at 14 years old? 15 years old. And then I find clips that reflect that and how they were solved, and then we talk about that. Then the last part is public speaking. So I take speeches by like Barbara Jordan or Barack Obama, and then we create. We analyze the structure of speeches and how we grab people, because we can be dismissed just by how we talk, how we come off. And if you know how to develop
Code
an
switch,
argument,
right?
yeah,
Exactly.
develop an argument and be forceful. Even at a young age, people paid attention to me, because when I started in the big of it, the eye contact. Our people don't like a lot of eye contact. We be swaying all over, looking all over the place, and with eye contact. And then being forceful and knowing how to develop, an argument, which comes from seeing how other people do it, makes you a better person, makes you a better productive citizen. Because it's been proven by the Board of Education, the Department of Education in Washington, that creative people are real problem solvers. and they're able to emphasize. And companies want these type of people because they're not stuck. You know, because sometimes we can take a book or academics as far as we can take it, and sometimes you got to be able to work off the top. And some people don't. You know, it's the difference between classical musicians and jazz musicians who have improvisation. Some people can work off the sheet music, and you have to do that sometime in life. You know, juggling different things, and parents do it, moms do it, women do it all the time. You know.
So what's your take on entrepreneurship? Because we have people like Nipsey Hussle and stuff like that who encourage being self-made and just knowing certain things about.
We don't teach that. We always tell people, get a job. Get a city job. We never tell people to start a business. And that's the problem.
Black people,
that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, white people, they always teach you. They know business. Yeah, they grow up in businesses. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing. We don't, from birth, we don't teach people to create their own. You know, we always tell somebody work for something, but that's a derivative of slavery too. Work for someone.
I have a question too. I feel like, you know, with the generation of men now, I feel like there's a fear with them. I'm trying to understand what's the fear with them, because and this is coming from like a lot of the discussions we have as far as like stepping up for Black women, speaking up about a lot of issues, checking their friends and things like that. It seems like this fear that they don't want to
be unliked.
Be unliked or express themselves. Like,
but how do you know you're going to be unliked?
But that's
the fear part.
That's what
that's
it
the
seems
fear
like
part.
is the fear.
Right.
I'm
you know,
guessing
I think
that's
a lot
the
of
fear.
people respect. You know, I feel respect you more when you really tell them things. But you have to know how to speak to them. You know, also too. I'm doing this because I love you. I love you as a human being, and I don't want to see you. You know, do you really think out your issues and your plans and your ideas, or do you just work on impulse? Impulse sometimes can be good. Gut feelings can be okay, but you can't live by that.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you can't. And you should run your ideas by. I used to always run my ideas by other people. You know, you have to let people know. Well, what do you think about this? I was thinking about doing this. Nah, I don't think that. Yeah. And then I can explain why it's a bad idea. You know.
Do you feel like it's a lack of self-love and self-awareness that they're not able to express themselves that way?
Yeah, because we're not loved. We're not loved. How do you learn something that? You know, usually it's by rote. It's by something that you've seen, and this goes back to people shouldn't be parents, because what happens is you waste lives like that. You know, you waste lives because you bring people in the world that you're not fit. You are not even correct as a person. You are not strong enough to deal with society. And then you're going to bring a child. And then on top of that, you don't want to change your lifestyle. On top of that, you still want to hang out. You want to bring guys, or reverse, if it's the male is single, you want to bring women. And the type of women that you bring in. You know, there's nothing wrong with bringing somebody around, but are they worthy of your kids' attention? We have to. We're so selfish in terms of what we want. We want to do everything, but sometimes I've learned over time, I just got to narrow what I do down to certain things that I'm very good at, and just do that and stop. You know, just being selfish. Well, I want to do everything. Yeah, but you ain't really good at it. Right. You know, there's nothing wrong with hanging out with people that you know and not drinking. Oh, also, too, I found out over time, you know, sometimes we find out we don't have a lot in common with a lot of people, and that's okay, too. I've learned from the time from when I stopped using heroin and crack all the way up until like 3 years ago, even when I stopped using alcohol, my friend list reduced. And how many people I really had relationships was based on drugs and sports. See, I can be around cocaine. I can be around all and still talk, but they can't. They can't. You know, they feel inadequate to be around somebody that's not using. I don't feel that way. And even when I was using, you know, I could still be around you, you know, but it's a mental thing that when you realize what your friendship is not really based on a real strong foundation. It's a social thing. Right. So when you take that away, and drugs seem like made that work. That people don't even know. Well, okay, I'm not doing drugs, so what? But they feel inadequate. Or is it making them think, maybe I should give this shit up?
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, maybe I'd be better.
Because they probably thought they weren't an addict until you stopped.
Right.
And they might have tried.
Right.
They might have tried. But see, also people are hiding things
through
drugs. They're hiding like or that makes them more social. Well, I'm more out. Well, maybe you should be nerdy. Mm-hmm. No, really. That's you.
Right.
They're afraid of them true selves.
Stop trying to be, stop trying to be, Jay-Z, and you not.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not be this social animal, but, that's okay. That's we got to stop thinking, man, drink that, man. Hang out. And we need to stop steering people like that too. Stop, pushing that on people. If that's not them, don't make them, and don't make them inadequate because they're not doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can still be part of the crew. Well, what they call about the designated driver, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is why I purposely tell people no when I'm outside.
So, all right. So, what projects do you have coming up? Let them know where to find you.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Oscar Sanders 2202. You can find me on Twitter at Oscar Sanders. You can find me on YouTube. There's an array of videos, I don't know, about 300 trailers and films at Malcolm Entertainment, youtube.com, Malcolm Entertainment, Facebook. And then there's various pages, Final Hearing. If you're into books, you can sign up at Malcolm Entertainment, my website, and you can donate to our play that we want to take to historical black colleges. You can buy my City Hall murder mystery book entitled Final Hearing, which is a real smorgasbord of adventure. You have a Bill and Hillary Clinton type of characters. City councilmen 6 months murdered apart, and then two black African Americans are thrusted when these two Jewish city councilmen are killed in the Bronx. So, and then now a social justice spoken word book coming out in October called Exposing Politics. Ice House, How Incarceration Made Me a Better Man, and the philosophy of making America whole again, meaning that we need to share more of what we have and stop giving it to other countries to spy and to colonialize other countries and do it here, because other countries don't do that. Denmark, Norway, all those countries, they don't even have military. They focus on themselves, and we don't do that. We find every other way to give our money to somebody else. We look the 20 years to fix the lead problem in NYCHA, but you put Hudson Yards up in 10 years.
Still got polluted water right out here.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So it shows you they're about high rises, gentrification. White people didn't want Harlem or anywhere, in 85.
Right.
But after everybody done, cleared it out and been casualties, and, we've all lost, soldiers in those wars. Now you want to come in and put your stores here and your Whole Foods and, all that.
And pump up the prices.
And we keep voting for these people. We gotta stop voting for these people that vote against our interests all the time.
We gotta start voting too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the start. Yeah.
So guys, catch us actually June 1st. We will be at Bowling for Peace basketball charity event.
St. Francis
College. Just thank you. I totally spaced on that.
I think it's at 3 p.m.
Yeah, at 3 p.m. guys. So you guys can follow H205, I believe, at H205.
Yeah.
Also, our beloved Follow the Culture, they have their pop-up shop happening June 8th.
Lit.
They'll be joining us at some point.
It's a brand. They're launching their brand first semester.
Yes, first semester.
So
cool.
stay tuned.
Yes, it's going to be litty.
Yes.
Hashtag gang.
I gotta support. Yeah.
We just finished wrapping up Day Summit. That was cool.
Yes.
So fun.
Ain't no relax.
Ain't
no
no
break
sleep.
right after you. We was right back to
No sleep.
Yo.
So, guys, we got a lot of events coming up. Make sure
Silver
you guys
got her
stay tuned.
joint coming up too.
Oh, fast.
Yes.
You heard? So
Yes,
May
Peyton-
26th.
Pain sexiness.
What?
Ooh, that's
May
so-
26th, I have my trap anime party. That's going to be close to
I didn't
here.
know about that one. I know
Yeah.
about the paint sexy.
That's the.
She's like,
It's not paying sexy, but yeah, I have my trap anime party that's 420s friendly. It's gonna be around here, so borderline Brooklyn, Queens.
What's 420 mean? No, I'm just kidding.
But it's two floors of nonstop amazingness. We're gonna have anime playing in the background. Yeah. We have Chef Nitty cooking, Goddess Juices at the bar.
Wow.
First semester we'll have their table there. We have a bunch of other vendors.
Sound like DJ Blackout need to be DJing.
I mean, pull up. I got Jen DJing, so Blackout better pull his ass up.
Right.
And Smack Edibles and a couple other edible companies and stuff.
Do we have some regular stuff too?
Like what? Regular food?
For people who don't want to be high.
Yeah.
that has to be asked.
Bring McDonald's.
We're gonna have.
Last time when Chef Nitty was here, I was drooling.
McDonald's.
Yeah, y'all was smacked when Chef Nitty was here.
Oh my God! There's gonna be regular stuff, but Zank is.
Please have it clearly marked.
Zank is the word of the day, and then my infamous heart
infused wedding cake.
Yes.
Please.
And then my infamous event, Heart Soul, the art exhibition. This is my 4th installment in Harlem at Ross State.
You going into Harlem this time?
It's Harlem every time.
I was thinking about the one in Brooklyn when you did that. That wasn't the same thing that you did in Brooklyn.
No.
At that guy's venue. You know
the fashion show?
No. It was like a bunch of paint. We did the
no. That was Culture Vibes.
Okay.
That's another one of my.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up, y'all. I can't keep up.
Sorry.
She's out here moving.
A lot going on.
She moving.
This is why y'all just gotta follow my page. A Silver Lining Production. That's Silver spelled S-I-L-V-A.
She can't keep up because I only see one flyer for this anime thing.
That's because they're not paying her to post the flyers.
I didn't even drop the flyer.
I only saw something with anime. And
I didn't even drop the flyer.
I just put 2 and 2 together. You see what I'm saying? And it's May 26th.
When the deposit comes, she posting it.
I posted it. Yes, I posted it last night, and it started going crazy.
When the deposit comes,
I didn't even post the flyer.
Y'all playing. She didn't get the cha-ching.
I'm dead. But so if this event is done correctly, I'll be able to do mad events at this spot. That you gotta follow me to find out all of this information. Though I have mad things coming up.
That's a fact.
But follow me, and I'm still looking for vendors and artists, whatever case may be. But my art exhibition, the theme is sex sells.
Nasty
It's a essence of Silv Nasty, my alter ego.
Yes.
So we're gonna have pole dancing.
A word.
Body painting. I always do. I have sex toys I'm giving away from my vendor. Shout out to Raccoon's mom.
Speaking.
Right.
It's gonna be back.
We have to.
We gotta talk.
You know what he want. Yesterday you was talking some wild crazy.
Nah, all I'm gonna say is Amazon dropped that thing off this.
Hey! All right, we gonna have.
You got fucking
we gonna have lots of sex toys. We're gonna have a lot of dope performance, including 2:30 a.m. I hope I didn't say his name wrong. Mercedes Benz, Big Body Benz. Dang, whoever else. DJ Blackout is gonna DJ.
Yes. You gonna have your nipples out?
What?
Everybody's nipples is out. Everybody's nipples is gonna be out. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Make sure you follow me, King Sylvie, KINGSLVY. Follow me, King Sylvie, KINGSLVY, and also follow my business page because that's where all the juice is. A Silver Lining, Silver spelled SILVA.
You heard what this woman said?
Yes.
She's wild.
All right.
Make sure you guys follow me, Urban_Classic with a Q.
Pull your nipples out, bro. I believe in you.
Just have your nipples out, babe. Just have
We gonna put the nipple tape
right
shaped like an
X.
That's
extra fees.
DJ.
Extra fees.
Blackout. We gonna black out your nipples.
It's gonna have the lights on it.
All right. It's time to go. This was fun. That's it.
Follow me, Urban_Classic with a Q.
And follow me, King Sylvie. Once again, KINGSLVY. What?
Yes,
because I got all that shit come up.
Yes, and follow the podcast page, guys. Lethal_Lipz with a Z _podcast. And follow our Facebook so you guys can tune into our watch party. Later.
Bye.